Eckankar, for those that went through it, was like high school. Okay, you went to high school, right? And then you got through it, and then you went and lived your own life. You got big, you got a job, you lived your own life, and you left high school behind. And so what Paul referred to was high school, and he used the God idea at first because this is what people knew. So he started off there. So the idea is, again, this is the new nowness. You see what that is. You see that it was in high school, and you let it alone because it's not about the words. See, what you're basically doing is you're discussing these ideas that you've known and trying to figure out them literally, you see, with more ideas. And this is where things get confused. Best thing to do is just let it all go and every moment start new with what we're doing, with what we're presenting. And the idea here now is it's not about a mission, okay? Those are things that, see, Jonah uses those words. And didn't the Christians use those words? And the shapeshifters use those words to get people to, build monasteries and have a mission, etc. See, we don't use those words like etc. because they have their own definition to them. And then you start thinking in those terms. No, life is not about a mission. No, not at all. It is until you get to the point where you realize, no, it's about recognizing what is real now. It's an isness. So all that definition, you can go over it as much as you want, talk back and forth, but as you start getting into that more and more, you get lost in it, you get confused. And it's like, well, Paul said this here, and you're saying this here, or whatever. Well, that's the past. Just like when you were in high school, the teachers told you certain things. You told the students certain things when you were the teacher. Now that they're big, are you going to keep telling them the same thing? You know, now that they're 20, 30, 40 years old and you were the teacher, and when you see them, are you going to tell them the same thing you did when you were the teacher when they were in second and third grade? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense at all, does it? Life makes sense. Make sense of it. And so all these ideas, let them go. Learn to be now. Learn to see what is real now with creation and with what all life is. And so this is where your intuitive senses come in for both sides, for your personal self, also relating to the real you. Yes, and yes, Paul was relating to the real you in his own way when he called it soul. But remember, Paul talked about consciousness. You know, basically that it was all consciousness. Well, we know now that it's not, is it? Consciousness is something created in creation. It's not your real awareness. There is a difference. So it's best to let these old things go and learn to see what is presented now. And the idea is that now you have free will. You have the free will to become more aware. There's no missions. Certain people are given assignments if they will take them on, like Mission Impossible. That's the difference. But we're not doing missions, and we're not missionaries, okay? We're not here to provide something passive for people. We are here to provide something real, okay? So if you want to take on an assignment to be part of this presentation, well, you decide that. That's your decision. Again, yeah, nobody has to do anything. It's just a presentation now. It's not a spiritual path with all these definitions and misconceptions that people start creating about what it is, you see? So there's a lot more fun. There's a lot more to this, but that's the basic idea. Yeah, intuitive sense, and basically That is the fifth body. You know the five bodies, I'm assuming you know them, and that is your intuitive sense. Just like in the physical, you have your emotions, you have your memory, you have your mind, and you also have your intuitive sense. But because we have been raised literally and indoctrinated and mind framed a certain way, most people really don't understand or use their intuitive sense.